Anyways, the point I was trying to make, the point I was trying to make is that when I was in Flagstaff, they would always have people approach me, and they would ask me, "Hey, can you go inside and buy alcohol?" And they were plenty old enough, and they kind of talked me into it. Well, anyways, I caught on after a while to the fact that one time I turned around real fast. There was somebody standing at the back of the aisle with a camcorder, with a cell phone, recording me. Why are they recording me buying alcohol that isn't even mine? It was, but make no mistake about it. The person that I was buying it for was plenty old enough. Was plenty old enough. But why were they recording me with a cell phone at the back of the aisle? I don't get that. Why? Why are they trying to tell everybody, "Oh, this guy's an alcoholic. Every time he goes to the store, he buys a bunch of alcohol. He's drunk all the time. This, that, you know what I mean?" I don't know. Or even worse than that, are they having somebody else pretend to be me and then get somebody underage to ask them to buy them alcohol, like a totally different person to ask somebody that's not even me if they would buy them alcohol so that they could tell everybody, "Oh, Nick is buying underage people alcohol"? You know? I've never bought an underage person alcohol ever before in my entire life. Not even once. Ever. But, it's, well, just for the let the record show that is the truth. But, it makes you wonder, why were these people, why did people kept asking me to buy them their alcohol? I really doubt that they lost their driver's license like they said they did. Although that is what they said. And they were plenty old enough to be an adult. Believe me. They were clearly in their late 20s. You know what I mean? Clearly. And so, okay, all right, I'll buy you your little whatever. Couple little bottles of whatever. Why was somebody recording me? I don't get that. Why was somebody recording me at the back of the store with a... Why? What was going on there? That I don't get that. Somebody's up to something. Somebody's up to something, and it's completely dishonest. I know that. The way that they're all talking about trash and this stuff. Like I said, when I camped at that camp at the end of 4th Street, I camped in the woods for a couple weeks. And that was it. A couple weeks, and I was in Arkansas. Did they have somebody go there after I left and pretend to be me and throw parties and hang out with, young people, college people, and then pretend to be me and then tell all the local community, "Oh, that was that dirty, rotten Nick Nelson again," No, that wasn't me. No, I didn't, I wouldn't doubt for 2 seconds that wasn't what otherwise why, what would justify, every time I go out, every time I go somewhere lately, and more just the last couple years, the last 5-6 years, more than ever, people just totally have the wrong idea. They're everywhere I go, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna catch this sucker in the act. We're gonna hold him accountable once and for all," And so they come up with all these little setups, and they're all scheming. Like when I was in California, every time I would walk into a gas station, this is a true story. When I left Arizona 5-6 years ago, when I got to California, every time I would pull up to a gas station and go inside, I would grab an Arizona iced tea, like I always do, and I would go up to the counter. But as soon as I walked through the door, and this happened not once or twice, this happened 50 times. 50 times. They would take the drawer out of the cash register and set it up on the counter and then go in the back room. And so I would grab my Arizona iced tea and I would go up to the counter and I would, I would want to pay for my tea and put $20 on pump 7 so that I could get some gas and leave. And I would have to stand there and stand there and stand there. And sometimes I'd wait 45 minutes. It was not uncommon. I would pretty much always have to wait at least a half hour. At least a half hour, sometimes 40. I've waited like an hour just to pay for my stuff. Because they would take the cash register they would take the money out of the drawer and set it right on the counter and then leave and go in the back room. And then I would, stand there and just wait, And of course I never stole anything. I never did anything wrong, Like, are you kidding me? I spent 8 years on probation from 18 to like 26. I was on probation. I spent 8 years digging myself out of a hole. Why on earth, when I left Arizona, would I go and rob a place? Are you crazy? Why would, what are you, nuts? You think I'm going to rob the place? Like, what did they tell you? What on earth are they telling these people? Not the truth. If they told people the truth, people wouldn't be trying to set me up and trying to do all that. It's like, if they told people the truth, people would already know. Well, even if you make him stand next to $500 cash for an hour, he's still not going to steal a single penny. If I did, why would I? Well, how come I'm not in jail? I've spent 6 days in jail my entire life, and I'll die 100 years before they're gonna throw me in prison. I'll be dead 100 years before they're gonna lock me in a cage and tell me when I can take a shit, and tell me when I can eat, and tell me when I can shower. If I want to go outside, I'm going outside. If I want to go to New York City, I'm going to New York City. If I want to go to Texas or Oregon or California or Florida, there's not a man in the world big enough to stop me. And I will do what I want to do. And there's nothing wrong with that because, that's why I don't do anything wrong. That's why I don't steal. That's why I'm not out breaking the law. That's why I'm not out robbing people or victimizing people. That's why I don't do anything wrong, I don't do anything wrong. And if I haven't done anything wrong in the last 14 years, which is a fact, then what did they tell these people to get them to do all this crazy stuff? And why are these people trying to hold me accountable? Like, why are these people trying to set me up? And it's like, it's crazy. Like, who do you think I am? Who on earth do you think I am? Why would anybody possibly think that, oh yeah, that guy, when he gets here, he's gonna do something wrong? What are you, nuts? I haven't done anything wrong in the last 14 years, and you think now I'm gonna come strolling through the door and rob the place? What are you, nuts? What are you crazy? Are you loony? Have you lost your mind? I mean, for 14 years, I haven't done a single thing wrong, So it's like if they were telling people the truth, they would say, yeah, that's Nick, He's a pretty cool guy. He's whatever. He's trustworthy. There's like 0% chance he's going to cause a problem. There's 0% chance he's going to steal anything. There's 0% chance that he's going to do anything wrong. There's 0% chance that you need to be worried about anything. If they were telling people the truth, people would be like at ease. Like, oh, okay, so this guy hasn't done anything wrong in the last 14 years. I don't know. I mean, maybe that counts for something. Maybe we shouldn't be all worried. What are we so worried about? Instead, everywhere I go, people are like freaking out. Oh my God, oh, this terrible, horrible, evil person he's going to rape your sister and rob your grandma and shoot your dog and run over your cat and steal your life savings and like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you seriously? Are you kidding me? You know, I haven't done anything. Like, what on earth could possibly justify that type of reaction and that type of attitude and that type of outlook from other people? It's like clearly someone is being lied to, because if people were telling the truth, like, people wouldn't come at me like that. People wouldn't say the things they say. They wouldn't do the things they do. They just wouldn't come at me from that angle, you know? But yeah, that used to drive me nuts. The other thing, oh my God, especially in California and Oregon and Idaho and all those other places. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. These people. So everywhere I would go, I would get there. Right after I would get there, a couple people would show up and they would scope me out. They would sit kind of catty corner, or they would come stand in front of me, or they'd get right behind me in line. I mean, and they would really scope me out. And so I would, naturally, these people, they would try to make it not obvious, but like, it's obvious when every time you show up somewhere, these people show up right afterwards, and they just are like they're not paying attention to anyone else, but they're like zoned in on you. It's like you catch on to that. So I would start talking to them. I'd just be like, hey, how's it going? How you guys doing? Where are you from? Are you passing through? Do you live here? You know what I mean? So how long you been in the area? I would just start talking to them. And and after a while, like maybe I would get a text message on my phone or something, and I would start looking at my phone, and I would go quiet. Well, after I would go quiet, one of them would this happened like 100 times. This didn't just happen once or twice. This happened like hundreds of times. I swear to God, it's true. This is a true story. I would go quiet, and every single time, one of them would look at the other one, and they would say, "Are you sure this is the right guy? Like, this can't be the guy they were talking about." They would always say that. They would always say, "This guy's not that bad. This guy's not like that at all. This can't be the guy they were telling us about. Are you sure this is the right guy?" Comments like those happened every time, like hundreds of times. I swear to God, I swear it's the truth. They'd be like, "This guy's not that bad. This guy's not like that. He doesn't seem like that at all." So I'm like scratching my head. Huh. Go figure, huh? Wait a minute. What does that tell you? Like, cuz they like really were trying to let me know, like they would really let me know that what they were being told and what they could see standing right in front of them were like two totally different things. And they really like made sure that I knew that. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? The whole thing is just kind of like, over the years, like nothing has made sense to me, and it's all just been like all of these crazy events and stuff that just made absolutely no sense. It's just been crazy. It's just, seriously, when I was in Arkansas, they put a bunch of drugs in my. The only thing I did wrong that day was drink that cup of coffee. And man, and just last year when I was in Phoenix, I got a job blowing parking lots. That's like been one of their favorite things to do over the years. And just a couple months ago when I was in Louisiana, they put a bunch of drugs in my mouth while I was sleeping, and then they put diesel fuel in my. I woke up, I was like spitting out all kind. I felt like I was on drugs that day. Seriously, you know. Oh, it just makes me so mad, That's completely dishonest, If you're doing that to manipulate things and then go and tell everybody, "Oh yeah, this guy," it's like, but there's nothing to, that's a total manipulation. That's total dishonor. That's a straight up lie, you know? They'd be like, because I was going around telling people that I haven't used drugs. I got off probation 2 years ago, and I haven't used drugs a single time in the last 10 years. I have no interest in drugs. I don't want to use drugs. I don't like drugs. I want to be sober. I want to just have a clear mind. I'm trying to live a better life and just live a respectable life and better myself as a person, you know? And they'd be like, at the same time, they'd be like, oh, he's lying. He's lying, and I can prove it. Because and seriously, like towards the end of my probation, they started drugging me. Oh my gosh, they put drugs in my NyQuil, they put drugs in my milk, they put drugs in my anything I left in the fridge. You know, you couldn't trust it by the time you got back. And I caught on to that after a while. Pancake mix. Oh, they'd put drugs in everything that they possibly could. Oh my gosh, and they did that to me in Kansas. Oh my God, that just, I hate it when that happens. It makes me so mad because that was the truth. What I was saying was true. It's like I was trying to stay sober. I was trying to get my life together and live a respectable life. And here they're like putting drugs in my food. The only thing I did wrong was eat a sandwich, you know, or whatever whatever, a cheeseburger or a make pancake, whatever the case was, coffee creamer. They used to love doing that. Oh man, it just drives you nuts, you know. That really just pisses me off. But yeah, they drug you and then they follow you around and use listening devices and video cameras and oh, he's spying on you and stuff and oh, he's lying and I can prove it. They can prove it. Oh, see, look, this just happened last week. He's on drugs. Look at this. Yeah. Like, did they tell you that they were the ones that drugged me? You know, I mean, I would think that would be pretty important. That would seem to me like the most important part of the story, you know. But, yeah, it's just been crazy, man. I mean, everything. And then last year when that I didn't even know that person. Some Kara person, somebody named Kara that apparently lives in Florida was texting me and they were like trying to get me to send nudes to her, to some person I've never even met, you know, that lives all the way on the other side of the country. And then right after that was when I rode a bicycle to California and that girl was talking about how they were hacking into somebody's Facebook in the middle of the night while the person was asleep and then sending messages to their other friend's underage daughter and then deleting the conversations before either person woke up. So the two people involved had no idea that this event even occurred. But they would take that and show it to people in the community. Oh yeah, this happened. Oh yeah, this is, oh yeah, that's who this person is. Even though they didn't even know it happened, you know, that's not who they are, and that person would, even if that person would have never done it, it would still cause huge problems out in public, out in the community, you know. There's just been way too many situations like that to mark it off as a coincidence, you know. There's just, because I mean, you wouldn't believe all the stuff that's been going on the last 10 years. The last 15 years, I mean, especially the last 5, especially when I was in Flagstaff when I was living out of that van, I ended up going back to Arizona, and I was doing landscaping in Flagstaff, right? All of the homeowners got mailed a voucher for the landfill that they could take pine needles to clean up their yard. They do it every year. So anyways, afterwards, the lady at the dump, she like jacked the rates way up. Cause I was using my dad's friend's trailer. They gave me permission. They told me I could. It was no big deal. I had full permission to do it. So anyways, I was trying to get some work, and so I went up to Flagstaff and I was raking pine needles. And anyways, one day afterwards, the lady at the dump, she kind of like smuttered under her breath, well, you've been getting away with too much, or you've been getting away with all kinds of stuff. And I was like, I was just kind of taken back by that. Like, I didn't even know, like, what. I haven't broken a single law in the last 12 years. I haven't done anything. I'm not getting, what on earth am I getting away with? what, what, what on earth have I been getting? I haven't been getting away with anything because I haven't been doing anything wrong. What on earth could she possibly be talking about? You know, what on earth would possess somebody to say something like that? I've been getting away with something? That would imply that I've been doing something wrong. What am I doing wrong? What? I couldn't believe it. It's like, what kind of lies have they told you? You know, is that's what it comes down to. You know, crazy.